Hi guys, Dustin here. Today I'm going to show you how to make a rod and reel holder for your kayak. And what's different about this that you'll see on most of them is most rod and reel holders are going to be situated so that your pole sits straight up in the air like this. The problem with that is when you're floating down the river, if you go under any limbs, then the tip of your pole can get snagged on something and pull it right out. So we're going to show you how to make one where the pole sits flat along the edge of the kayak. And as you can see, I already got one here, but the one I have is just this little hook. Well, the problem with that, as I experienced the other day, is when you're floating down the river, if you go through some rapids, they can wash your pole right off of the kayak and you lose your fishing pole like I did. So I'm going to show you how to make a rod and reel holder. All right, now what you're going to need for this project is you're going to need 4 bolts that are about 1 inch long or longer. Anything less than 1 inch I don't think would work. You're going to need 4 rubber washers. That way the holes that you have to drill into your kayak to mount the rod holder will stay watertight. And then you're going to need 4 wing nuts. I prefer to put on the back there. They're just a little easier to put on and off. You're going to need a screwdriver, either Phillips or flathead, depending on what kind of bolts you got there. And then you're going to need some kind of saw. I mean, a hacksaw would work just fine. I got a sawzall here just to make the cutting go a little faster. And then you're going to need a foot of, this is 1.5 inch PVC pipe. And I've got it measured off 7 inches and then 5 inches. What I did here is I bought it in a 2-foot length, and that will give you 2. First thing you're going to do is on that 5-inch piece, you're going to see the cut that I've made there and the cut that I've made there, and there's where I cut the first one off. But see, what you're left with is just kind of that U-shaped piece of 5-inch PVC pipe. That's going to allow you something that you can set your handle down in. So first thing you want to do is make those grooves going down the pipe, and then you're going to just want to cut the pipe all the way through. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this piece long ways now that I've made those grooves going down it. Just like that. And now you have this little U-shaped piece. That's where your handle of your rod and reel is going to sit in. Now this 7-inch piece is actually where the tip of your rod and reel is going to set in. And you're going to need to cut some special notches on this so that you'll be able to mount it with your bolts there. And I'll go ahead and show you what you need to do as far as notching this goes. You're going to cut once down, and you're going to try and go just about halfway through your thing. And I'd go about 1.5 inches from the end toward the center. You cut about, like I said, halfway down. And then you're going to want to start at the tip and cut down to your notch that you made. It'll make another little U-shaped piece right there. And really what you're doing is you're just cutting an opening so you can mount the bolts. So I'm going to go ahead and get this cut. And you can see the cut that I made here. And basically you're just going to do the same thing on both sides. Now you've got your 2 pieces. You got your 5-inch piece. You've cut like that for the handle. You got your 7-inch piece that you've notched the ends on. And now we're ready to mount it onto the kayak. Now you're going to drill holes into these so that you can mount it onto your kayak. I'm using a 5/16 inch drill bit, and I'm just going to put, I've already drilled me some starter holes to make this a little easier, but now you can see this is going to mount to the side of your kayak just like so. Now would be a good time if you want to spray paint your rod and reel holders any color to match your kayak. So you're just going to put one of your bolts in like that, and you're going to take your rubber washer and your wing nut, and you're going to fasten them on the other side. So we'll put the rubber washer over it, and then we'll put the other screw here on the other side. When we're done, you can see how the handle of your rod just fits right in there, and it's going to sit flush with the kayak. So let's get that front end mounted, and I'll show you how to finish this up. For this, we're going to do just like we did with the other end. Put our bolt in there, rubber washer and wing nut go on the other side. And ta-da, that is what it looks like from the front. Again, there's the part that holds your rod, so when you go to put your pole in here, see, you just slide the end there. You got that part right here to hold your rod. And now your fishing pole is gonna sit flush against the kayak so that it's not sticking up in the air, and it's gonna be held in there by something better than just a little hook like that. You hit some rapids, it'll stay put. A little tip I'd say, I'd measure when you're installing your end here to make sure that the end of your pole fits just right inside of it there and doesn't stick out too much out of the end, because any little thing sticking out of the end there could get hung on something and break your pole. But that's pretty much it. I mean, it takes about 20 minutes to cut it all out, to install it. Spent less than $10, probably about $5 on material.